Another story coming out of Ohio. This week alone, I think we've had like three stories out of Cuyahoga County, out of Cleveland. It's just amazing to me how, after all this time, we still have this number of tragic stories happening to children, causing their deaths. I just think it's just unreal, the number. But in this story, you guys are going to see these beautiful children right here that were taken out of this world and their lives were ended by their own biological father. So I don't want to give too much of my personal opinion, but I'm going to tell you guys the details of the story. And we got a video that I want you to watch as well. So let me give you a disclaimer real quick. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And of course, we're getting this story from lawandcrime.com, where a lot of our stories have been coming from. They do a great job keeping up. So thank you, Law and Crime. Story is really sad. And then you look at this man crying. Like, I think that when people end up in these situations, they're crying because they're crying for themselves. They're not crying for their children. They don't love their children. They don't care about them children. I don't believe they ever did. So for a person to do something like this, I think, and then get in court and start crying like a little punk, I think that proves that they are very, very selfish. Okay. Now, newly released body camera footage shows an Ohio dad accused of executing his three young children and being booked into the county jail for multiple murder charges. He shot his children execution style. I want to make sure that you guys catch that, because that's actually the headline whenever you guys are looking up this story, if you're looking for it. He shot his children execution style, one right after another. Chad Christopher Dorman, 32 years old, has been indicted on murder charges for the deaths of his son, Clayton, Hunter, and Chase, and is being held with no bail, and nor does he deserve a bail. While waiting to be taken into the Clermont County Jail, Dorman talks with the officer standing with him. He tells the officer he believes that he had been in the jail once before over a fight. Much of the conversations between the officers and Dorman appear to be redacted as part of the investigation. However, at one point, Dorman, the father of these boys, it's just really sad. Those are just beautiful little kids, man. It's really sad. He walks over to a wall and appears to bang his head hard against the wall, leading the officer to tell him, "Don't be doing that. Don't be beating your head on the wall, okay?" Dorman answers no when asked if he has any weapons or drugs on him. The officer quickly pats him down and then takes him into the central area of the jail to start the booking process. He's then escorted into a cell and asked to remove his clothes. Dorman asked about making a phone call and is told he can do so after the booking process is complete. After changing clothes, Dorman is taken into another area for what appears to be a full body scan. The video concludes shortly after. Prosecutors last week indicated they will seek the death penalty against Dorman for the fatal shootings. That's about as serious as it gets. Clermont County Prosecutor Mark Tillou has declined to go into specific details so to not jeopardize the capital case, but called the family murders an unspeakable tragedy and said the prosecutors would seek to punish the defendant to the fullest extent of the law. Let me see, I can skip some of this. Let me tell you this part. This man, this idiot that you see on my screen, lined his sons up, allegedly, lined them up, ages 3 years old, 4 years old, and 7 years old, lined them up and executed them with a rifle, even hunting one of the boys down at the Laurel Lindell Road property, according to prosecutors. So one of them actually tried to run for their life, and he chased them down like some type of hunting animal. In court earlier this month, Toulouse reportedly said that Doberman gunned down the 7-year-old from behind while the boy tried to escape and then executed the victim when he fell. Them boys were scared as hell. He allegedly ripped the 3-year-old from his mother's arms and put a bullet in his head. Prosecutors said in court that Doberman confessed to the horrific crimes. And I think the mother also was injured because he shot her too while trying to shoot the boys. There has been a full admission in this case, Prosecutor David Gass said. The case is still new. We're still discovering facts, but the evil horror of what we know is impossible to process. In an act of incomprehensible cruelty, the father stands before you, lined up his 3 young boys, and executed them in his own home with a rifle. In an act of desperation, the mother at some point grabbed the gun the father was wielding to attempt to protect them. The prosecutor also said the Doberman confessed to what I believe is the worst crime, at least I hope, that I've seen in my lifetime. Body camera video footage shows the defendant was alarmingly calm as the Claremont County Sheriff's deputies swarmed the scene on the day of the afternoon of June 15th, a Thursday, just days before Father's Day. Doberman was sitting on the front step of the residence with a rifle next to him as the victims lay dead. He said, "Can I stand up?" asking the arresting authorities at the scene, insisting he wouldn't hurt them. It's kind of uncomfortable. The victim's wounded mother, on the other hand, cried out on a 911 call that her babies had been shot. She was heard on body camera shouting that Doberman took my life from me, my life. A sister of the boy's mother, a family friend at the New Richmond Youth Sports Association. Why would they put all of that? I can't read all of that. Are collecting donations to support the family. So New Richmond Youth Sports Association. The victim's older sister, Alexis, was the only child to escape alive. My sister lost her 3 amazing babies yesterday. Nothing will make this better. It will never be okay. But please, if you can find it in your heart to help relieve the financial burden of this tragedy, please donate. No one should have to go through this, according to Rachel Brown. Doberman was indicted on 9 counts of aggravated murder, 8 counts of kidnapping, and 4 counts of felonious assault. And a pretrial hearing is scheduled for July 5th, which is coming up here in about a week. My thoughts about this: was this man in his right mind? I don't believe he was. This man to be that calm after doing what he did to his own kids in front of the kid's mom and then shot the kid's mom, was he in his right mental state? Then he was calm when the police got there and now he's crying in court. Is he in his right mental state? Because just as quick as they want to talk about a mental evaluation from those mothers, between the mother that tried to drown her children in the tub and between the mother that wrapped her child up in a bunch of trash bags and hid that child for 2 weeks and then lied to authorities, lied to police, lied to the public. They went to give her a mental evaluation. So was she in her right mind state? Was this man in his right mind state? When do we give it a mental evaluation? Do we pick and choose when we give a mental evaluation? It just seems like that line is real blurred. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And all I'm asking is just a question, because it doesn't seem that whenever we give these mental evaluations, it doesn't make sense when we choose to give them. when it comes to men, it don't seem like we ever are willing to consider that maybe the man was mentally going through something too. And I'm not an advocate for this man at all. I'm just asking a question. Why does it seem like on one side, men and fathers aren't given the same, I don't know. But if you guys would do me a favor and hit that thumbs up, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Let me give you guys a couple news videos.
We continue here at the top of the hour with the murder of these 3 young Claremont County boys. Investigators say their father has admitted to shooting and killing all 3 in cold blood. Their ages are 7, 4, and 3. We do have team coverage for you on this tragic situation. We start with WCPO 9 News reporter Sean Delancey, who is in New Richmond, where a community event is being held for the 3 children who lost their lives. Sean?
Yeah, Tanya, Pastor Robert Wooten just opened the doors here at Connection Point Church in New Richmond for anybody and everybody impacted by this unspeakable tragedy. He says when 3 little boys are senselessly gunned down, people need to be there for one another. Pastor Wooten says that this is a very loose event. There's no real plan or agenda to go by. It's just an open space for people to be together, talk through their grief, pray, whatever you need to help process what few can grapple with, the death of children. His team is right here, right now, to help guide that process. Wooten says whether you knew this family or not, if you're hurting, you are welcome here tonight.
You know, in a small community, everybody feels the pain, everybody feels the struggle, everybody feels the emotion. And I think last night before I went to bed, I told my wife, I said, we got to do something. And it just brought me to the point where we can't just sit by idly and just, we have to act and do something.
Now, Connection Point Church here in New Richmond along Columbia Street will be open tonight as long as is necessary. So if you feel the need to be around others that can help you out, you are welcome to come on down.
Where's he at?
He's shooter still on the porch.
Get him right here. You got him on the porch.
We've asked. That's the last place we've been told.
You show me your hands now! Stand up and walk towards us! Stand up now! Walk towards us! Stand up with your hands up!
We know we got a visual in the mail. Not showing his hands, not following commands.
Stand up now!
Still not showing hands or following commands. His name is Chad Dorman. Chad Dorman.
I know, but we can't.
People need first aid, and he's not complying. And you know he's a shooter. Shoot him.
We gotta find cover first. We ain't no good if we ain't safe ourselves. Hey, no. We need to come from this side where we can see them. Don't take cover behind her. We see him. We're going to approach from this side. We got cover. Right here.
6 Robert, 29 and 63 at Tyga.
We're not right now.
Show us your fucking hands now! Stand up! Stand up! Stand up! Stand up now! Stand up! Stand the fuck up!
EMS, the stage, and air carrier is going to go ahead and fly whenever any units can advise.
Get your hands out of here.
72.
Tell them we're 21. It's in the air.
Those guys can confirm that there's people that need first aid, and that's the shooter who's not complying. They need to take care of the
I got it.
victims. They have to shoot him and shoot him.
Man, I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I'm completely sober. Never did drugs a day
63,
in my
we're
life.
21. Get the EMS over here.
Well, I did drugs when I was little, but I don't do drugs now. I'm sober.
Wanted to address this since somebody wrote it in the chat. Joanne said the wife was divorcing him. He was in hella debt and he didn't want to pay child support. Wow. He had a gun by his side when he was apprehended. That part is correct, yes. So I noticed a number of people said that. ASAP said I think she was going to leave him. He wasn't paying child support and refused to let her take anything of his when she left. So he took her reason for living and wow. Where did y'all read that at? I didn't even see that. Because I noticed the news article I read from, they were trying not to give away a lot of the details. I have thoughts about that too, but I'll let the video play.
I'm not trying to fight you. 63. Get your butt inside. Gatlin, get your butt inside.
We on primary?
Now.
29, we got 3 kids down.
3 kids down, 16 kids up.
Gatlin.
63, we're 21.
Knock
Have
it off.
EMS respond over here.
You're clear, they're being advised.
Robert 34, just started mass casualty response.
63, do you want them to respond to the Laurel Lindale address? Where exactly do you need them?
We're right in the front yard.
You took my life from me! My life!
What are you doing, man?
Hey, are you copying all this?
Can I roll over? I ain't gonna hurt you. I ain't gonna hurt nobody.
You got anything on you?
No, I ain't got nothing, man. Phone, that's it. I ain't mad. I ain't nothing. Just make sure that dog don't come out. I don't think he'll bite you. Just don't reach for him and try to grab him and pet him.
All right.
He won't bite you.
What's going on, man?
Nothing. Can I stand up? It's kind of uncomfortable.
I'm gonna get
I ain't
you
gonna
here
do
in a
nothing. I ain't
second.
running away. You can do whatever you want with me.
Here. You the only one else inside the house?
What?
You the only one else inside the house? Sit down right here.
My daughter, she ran over to the fire department.
Sit down.
It's my stepdaughter.
Put him in the cage.
This is Will. This is Will. This is Will.
They're all being advised. They've requested 2 additional medics. There's also air current flying, but they need an LV and not a copy.
Can you get the wallet out of my back pocket? Shut up.
So I was wondering what that was. Y'all were saying the black squares were the baby's bodies. Oh my God. I kept wondering. I was like, because the camera kept moving and I noticed it was trying to hide it. I was like, but what is it hiding? Man. That is so heartless. I don't care what you were going through. It cannot end like that. It cannot end like that. I just don't understand this at all. So those, I didn't even notice that. So those were the baby's bodies, man. God, dog. This is a horrible person.
21.
Yeah, the right to remain silent, fucking user.
Yes, sir.
Take the call, I'm on an all-star now. I'm almost there. Yeah, 9 is where Chief and Captain's away.
Let me show you guys this real quick. Because I didn't even notice this from the footage. I'll try to be respectful and not show too much. But I think it's okay for me to show you this. This is also part of the body cam footage. And there's the rifle right there. Right there. Let me know that you guys can see that. That's about as clear as day. Yeah, it's easy to see why they're going to try to give him the death penalty. That is so sad.
34%.
The firehouse is advising them that the male shot the entire family.
20 hour 37.
You're clear.
Here.
Shooters on the boards.
Get him
You know,
right here. Down on the floor.
We've asked, that's the last place we've been told.
You show me your hands now! Stand up and walk to me!
Walk towards us!
Stand up now!
know it's rifle, do we know?
Walk towards us! Stand up with your hands up!
29, we got a visual on the male. Not showing his hands, not following commands.
Stand up now!
Not showing hands or following commands.
We gotta go.
His name is Chad Dorman. Chad Dorman.
These kids are in the front. We gotta go.
If people need first aid and he's not complying, and you know he's a shooter, shoot him.
Gotta find cover first.
I'm
It
trying.
ain't good if we ain't safe ourselves. Right here. We need to come from this side where we can see. Don't take cover. We see him. We're going to approach from this side. You gotta go. Right here.
6 covered.
We gotta go.
29 and 63 to check up.
Right now, we're okay right now.
Show us your.
Show me your hands now! Stand up!
Stand up!
Moving. Hold.
Stand up!
Stand up now! Stand up! Stand up!
EMS is safe and air carrier is going to go ahead and fly whenever any units can advise.
Get your hands out of here.
72.
Number 21. It's in the air.
If we guys can confirm that there's people that need first aid, and that's the shooter, he's not complying, they need to take care of the
I got it.
victim. They have to shoot him.
They won't let you talk to your son?
Keith Dorman, now living in Florida, said he came back to Ohio Thursday night after he found out what happened that day on Laurel Lindale Road in Monroe Township, but said he's not allowed to talk to his son. Chad Dorman confessed to shooting and killing his 3 sons execution style. Chad's father tells us this is completely out of character for Chad, saying his son isn't violent. I don't know what went on in his personal life. It's a shocker to us we didn't see it coming. He just snapped. I could tell in his eyes he's hollow inside. That wasn't Chad standing at the arraignment. I mean, that was not him. Contrary to what the elder Dorman said, this is what Assistant Claremont County Prosecutor David Gast said in court Friday.
We know that one of the boys was able to flee into a field near the home. And again, we know from his admission, father hunted that boy down, drug him back to the property, and executed him in front of witnesses.
On Friday, we found out prosecutors charged Chad Dorman with domestic violence in 2010 for allegedly choking his father, but authorities dropped the charge. Keith Dorman told me he can't figure out why his son would have done this. A lot of stuff out there that could make you flip, and I don't think there's enough research on that, alluding to the possibility his son Chad could be suffering from mental illness, but also said, I don't know if it was financial, I don't know if it was marital, I don't know if it's work-related, I don't know. Keith defended his son, saying he was a good kid and a good father, but said, I don't want nobody to badmouth him because this is a terrible thing he did. And
he doesn't want anybody to badmouth his son. You know what? And that's the part that I keep continuing to talk about. when people take the emphasis off of the children and what happened to the children, and you talk about this grown adult who inflicted the worst type of violence on his children, I don't care what he was going through. It doesn't matter. And I apply that same thing when I talk about these mothers who do horrible things to their children. And I apply that same thing to these same fathers who do that horrible thing. No, I don't think any of them, nobody should get mental illness when you hurt, murder, or abuse children. Nobody should get that as an excuse. Get this evaluation, and then all of a sudden now you get a lesser sentence, a lesser charge. You're worried about somebody bad-mouthing your son. Where's the accountability in that? I think the world should be bad-mouthing your son. I think that this video should go viral, quite frankly. I think this video should get 1 million views, in my opinion. And I think that his face should be plastered all over the internet, everywhere, so everybody will know what he did to Clayton, Hunter, and Chase Dorman, his sons, who could have grown up to become anything. Those lives and those babies deserved every opportunity to live and grow up. And not only did even one of them got away, but he chased him down like vermin and shot him down anyway. Because he mad about his situation and he mad at the mom for whatever reason that is. They give him the death penalty, I wouldn't feel bad. And yes, sir, if you're listening out there, the father of this man, yes, your son is a horrible individual, and this is who he is. He's a terrible individual, and that's what they should write on his gravestone when they execute his ass for what he did to those babies. To these little young babies, we get their face back up here. I don't want them in the picture with their dad. Right here, young princess. R.I.P. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section about this story. Even let me know what you think about the dynamic when I say that it seems like we treat men and fathers with mental illness different than we treat mothers and women with mental illness. Either it's there or it's not. And I don't think it should be an excuse for any of them. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you.